Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Wednesday, February 25, 2026. Making the headlines tonight, PM Briceño warns Rubio of cartel threat for Belize without expanded support. PSU blasts GOB over reported mass resignation order for terminal staff ahead of NBC transition. Belmopan Mayor admits Zamar Alvarez is from Belmopan but won't apologize. And Belizean students in Cuba are staying put as universities adapt to energy shortages. Take our first break and return with the news in detail.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
There are not words to describe how thankful, how happy I am that I can call this my home.
I am 50 years old and I'm finally getting a house with livable condition.
I've been praying and God came through for me, so it's all on God.
I personally never have something like this where God blessed me with today.
We may live in our environment we're kind of, saturated and never really good for like our health and thing, right? So now we're better off, a better environment.
Recently where I am now, I've been going through a lot with my landlord. But now I can say this is permanent for me, a home. I can say it's mine for me and my kids.
I wish everybody could get the chance that I get, because this will help me to survive.
It's a really special feeling because you know that you will be able to give them an opportunity to have a legacy, something they can pass to their kids and something that their kids won't go through.
We absolutely take the opportunity to once again thank the initiative of Minister Julius, thank the initiative of the government in voting the monies.
We can't build enough of these houses. This program is a feather in the government's cap.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email. ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
In a democracy, what is good for the government cannot be bad for the people. And what is good for the people cannot be bad for the government.
We came a long way. It's like over 16 years that it was basically like 2-3 houses in that area.
It was wild. One high bush like jungle. I want to take my lick. Say no water, no light. I tell her no about that. We have figured it out.
You know, you wonder how long it will take for this to happen.
A year ago, you were considered squatters.
We made a picado and we came in. I'm a teenager. Everybody said it was swamp, it was swamp. When we get in here, it was like gold.
Today, you're landowners.
This that for we, and we proud of this.
Now we are claiming our house on the land.
We have worked so hard to make this happen for us.
This is a beautiful day, folks, because we are taking care of the people who have taken care of us. Because we wouldn't be here today without you.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda. It's all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquist Equipment Parts Service.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. Several months ago, when United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio held in-person meetings with multiple Caribbean leaders, he had only spoken by phone with Prime Minister John Briceño. Today, Briceño met with Rubio in a sidebar discussion on the sidelines of CARICOM's 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in St. Kitts and Nevis. The Prime Minister told Creme News XTV that he considered the exchange constructive. He said he raised the challenges of regional security, particularly the risks Belize faces because of its shared border with Mexico. While he thanked Rubio for the U.S. government's support to date, Briceño emphasized that Belize needs far more assistance in equipment, intelligence, and training. He stated, quote, "I made the point that if these cartels come into Belize, we will be unable to get them out, and 5 to 10 years from now, it will be a totally different Belize. Therefore, the urgency to act now," end quote. Meanwhile, addressing the leaders of the 15-member bloc, Rubio also defended the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro last month. The Public Service Union today reported officials from the Ministry of Transportation issued ultimatums to employees at different bus terminals to resign by Friday, February 27, or face termination ahead of the start of transition to the National Bus Company on March 1st. The NBC is a private company with majority government ownership. The union underscores that as the bargaining agent for unionized employees, it must be a part of any meeting to discuss employment terms. The PSU's release states, quote, "Forcing employees to choose between resignation and termination within a 48-hour window without union involvement is not only unprofessional but a blatant disregard for the due process rights of public officers and tantamount to an unlawful ultimatum," end quote. Transportation CEO Chester Williams said he had a discussion with the PSU president before his interview with the media this afternoon, and they agreed to meet tomorrow.
There is no truth to them telling the terminal workers that they must resign by Friday of this week. What was instructed to them, and from what I have gathered from them, is that they met with the terminal workers, explained to them what is taking place, and gave them the options that are available to them. Now remember that the National Bus Company is going to need employees and will need employees at the terminal as well. And so what we want to do is to make sure that we have a transition period between the 1st of March and the end of August, whereby those persons who are currently employed at the terminal, and even those who are employed at the various bus companies that now form part of the National Bus Company, they will be brought on board with the National Bus Company, and they will have that 4 months period where they can decide if they want to remain with the company, or if for some reason they don't meet the criteria for employment, then we'll have to find ways for the terminal workers, how are we going to settle with them. I also have a discussion with Mr. Flowers, the president of the PSU, on this matter, and I believe that there was some miscommunication or misunderstanding in terms of the message that was being conveyed to the terminal workers. And so Mr. Flowers and I have already discussed the matter, and I have also said to him that those terminal workers who are unionized, the law also dictates that we are to meet with them along with their bargaining agent, which will be the union. And we already had a meeting set for Thursday, which is tomorrow, to meet with those employees who are unionized along with the PSU so that we can have whatever bargaining.
Williams said they will not disenfranchise anyone of their benefits, and he added that employees would still be able to regain employment under the NBC, though under different terms since it would be a private company. The mayor of Belmopan, Pablo Kowich, found himself in hot water after he claimed that murder victim, 21-year-old Zamar Alvarez, who, along with Calvert Webster, were fatally shot on February 13, was not from Belmopan. The mayor was trying to suggest that it was outsiders who were taking violence to Belmopan. Alvarez's mom then made public her son's birth certificate, which confirms he was born in the capital city. Since then, may have been called for an apology from Kowich, arguing that his comments appear prejudiced, if not outright racist. On Tuesday, Kowich said he just went with the information that police reported to him and said he has since met with Alvarez's mother and offered condolences. However, Kowich said he will not apologize as he doesn't feel the need to respond to what he calls political attacks.
Well, firstly, I don't believe I owe any response to a media house. I did make the comments as I explained to some people and the mother of the individual. I rely on information provided to me. I'm not out there doing investigations by myself. So I repeat, or I have to rely on information that is provided to me by the respective authorities. So just for information, or for information to the public, I have visited the mother. I did relay my condolences, as well as we discussed issues on how the city can assist her through this difficult time. But the attacks, as you mentioned, it's just, I classify it as political attacks. It is, we, as you are aware, we are entering the last year of our term, so elections are around the corner, and it's just political noise that the opposition will stir up, because in my personal view, I don't believe that the city has done any wrong, or let me rephrase that. I believe this city administration has been the most effective when it comes to progress for the municipality itself. And that is the direction we will continue pushing towards.
But we couldn't see that Mr. Zamar was in fact Belmopanese.
Well, as I was informed by her mother, yes, he was born in Belmopan. He lived both in Belmopan and Belize. So, as I mentioned, I was repeating information that was shared with me. It's not something that as was stated that I was disowning anyone. I have no benefit in disowning anyone.
The former ombudsman, retired Major H. Gilbert Suazo, however, on February 23rd, wrote a letter to the president of the National Garifuna Council, Alex Norberto, calling for Kowich and Belmopan area rep Oscar Mira to, quote, clarify, withdraw, and, if appropriate, publicly apologize for any statements that may be perceived as discriminatory or prejudicial, end quote. Mira is also facing backlash after he also stated that the criminal activity did not originate from Belmopanese but spilled over from other communities. Suazo said that both murder victims were Black, Garifuna, and citizens of Belmopan. He's also calling for the reaffirmation of the principles that all Belizeans are entitled to equal protection and dignity, and the promotion of responsible public communication by national and municipal leaders. Meanwhile, Norberto revealed that Alvarez was his cousin. He said that the family is taking the loss hard and that the whole situation is disheartening. He said gun violence and black-on-black crimes need to be addressed.
As you mentioned, he is my cousin, and so we are really distraught by the incident. In addition to that, the subsequent statements made by the mayor of Belmopan and the minister for the police has us wondering where their information came from initially. Obviously, it's been proven that Lamar is from Belmopan. They've lived in Belmopan for a while, that family. We still have family members in Belmopan as we speak. So it's disheartening to know that these crimes continue to persist, these black-on-black crimes in particular, and that we have been unable to manage those situations, and now we've lost 2 young people again to gun violence. So we're grappling with that. As a Garifuna leader, we are concerned with the way we have been dismissed, or Lamar has been dismissed in that instance, and the interpretation may be that the statement may appear to be racial or profiling, whatever the categorization may be, and I think it's something that the leaders need to look at critically to ensure that they are a bit more sensitive in how they say, what they say, and also that they have the information accurate.
Nalberto also spoke on the topics of apology and discrimination.
There's multiple issues here. The fact that he is a voter of Belmopan and they don't seem to even know that was shocking. The fact that the family has lived in Belmopan, Alina grew up in Belmopan, that's the mother. So they have Belmopan roots. The family has been in Belmopan like from time immemorial. So, and the fact that he is black and that specific detail is ignored or treated as an information that really doesn't matter, and then it's compounded by the fact that he's Garifuna makes it even more complex. So it's a complex issue.
Do these political leaders of Belmopan owe Miss Alina Alvarez an apology? Should they publicly apologize to her?
If it was me, I would, because clearly, in my view, they misspoke. The facts speak for themselves. So they need to do what they need to do to correct.
Well, we spoke with Her Excellency Yahima Martinez Milan, Cuba's ambassador to Belize, on Tuesday. She did not go into detail about how things have worsened for Cuba since the United States' removal of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from his home on January 3rd, but she was clear that it has made the condition of the Cuban people worse. She called it another period of deep strain. Currently, there are 27 Belizean students in Cuba. The ambassador shared how universities are adapting to ensure classes continue despite the challenges. So far, while some students from Jamaica have chosen to return home, Belizean students have chosen to remain in Cuba at this time.
In Cuba, we have international students from more than 50 countries right now. But the safety of Belizean students is our national responsibility. They are there, they are part of our people, they are part of our family. So despite the shortage, the Cuban government provides the necessary resources, the necessary supplies that they need, and also we maintain the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Cuba, the High Minister of Education of Cuba maintains in touch with the diplomatic missions that have students in Cuba. They have meetings, so they are not alone, and of course we are care of them. So at this moment, no closure order has been issued. So our university remains open. The daily of the students maintain, of course, we have adapting all the schedule of the students, trying to take advantage of the sun, of the light of the day. Of course, some hours have been adapted, but they maintain his daily activities, and of course, the education remains commitment with the youth here to Belize.
I read that Jamaican students have chosen to leave. Have others followed suit? And if yes, do you expect that trend to continue?
Well, we respect the individual decision of each student, of course, and their family. However, the vast majority of Belizeans remains in Cuba, and the vast majority of the international students remains in our country.
After the break, BCWJ will protest in front of Lizarraga's Southside Meats. Stay with us.
Rotavirus is a leading cause of severe watery diarrhea and vomiting in young children. It can lead to dangerous dehydration and hospital visits. The good news? The rotavirus vaccine is now available countrywide. It is given in drops at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child. Visit your nearest health clinic today.
Running a business in Belize and getting an international order? Shipping your products abroad is simple with the Belize Postal Service. To quickly confirm the order, you can fill out your customs declaration right from the comfort of your home. To access the declaration form online, please visit the following websites. Simply enter your item in the CDS web kiosk to instantly see the landed cost, duties, taxes, and fees. Postage rates can be checked on your rate sheets. Share the landed cost with your customer and finalize the sale in minutes. Once the sale is confirmed, the system generates your declaration identification number, your key to a smooth and fast drop-off. And if you don't have internet access, you can always visit any of our post offices for assistance. Bring your unsealed package and declaration ID to any Belize Postal Service location. Our clerks will verify your items, seal your package, and prepare your declaration, quick and simple. It's fast, simple, reliable. The Belize Postal Service, connecting your business to the world.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures, customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights, distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
every day.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Our Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanding neighborhoods, significant investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands in a more sustainable and resilient way. These planned developments support safer communities and long-term sustainability, contributing to rising property values across the city. Under the Town's Property Evaluation Act, property values are required to be reviewed every 5 years. The last valuation adjustment was done in 2013. This adjustment simply brings property values closer to today's market reality, while the tax rate itself remains unchanged. Let's break it down. For a vacant property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 2% rate, which works out to a payment of $500. Under the new assessment, the property value has appreciated by 40%, making the property now worth $35,000. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 2% of $35,000, which works out to $700. For an occupied property valued at $25,000, we charge an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Under the new assessment, the property's value has appreciated by 18%, making the property now worth $29,500. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 10% of $29,500, which works out to $2,950. To support property owners, your Belize City Council is encouraging residents to take advantage of the ongoing property tax prepayment incentives. Property owners receive 15% off in January, 10% off in February, and 5% in March. And senior citizens receive a 35% discount year-round. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
The Belize Communications Workers for Justice, BCWJ, has received permission from the Belize Police Department to hold a protest on Friday. It will take place during lunchtime between 12 and 1 p.m. in front of Southside Meats, the private business of Belize Telemedia Limited chairman Mark Helm Lizarraga, who is also a former senator. The group is resuming its protest as it has not had a favorable response to its request to be paid interest on their severance. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Labor on Tuesday provided its position on the Caribbean Court of Justice ruling on the matter of severance for 10 former BTL employees. The ministry notes that the severance is case-specific and therefore, quote, does not determine claims outside of the matters considered by the court, end quote. It argues that each case, quote, must be assessed based on its individual facts, as payment depends on factors like nature of termination, applicable agreements, and compliance with statutory requirements. Cuba's ambassador to Belize, Her Excellency Yahima Martinez Milan, has been in the country since November last year. Since the start of January this year, when the actions of the United States government led to the worsening of the situation in Cuba, energy supply has diminished. The ambassador shared that she is still able to communicate regularly with her relatives, though this is impacted by blackouts. She added that flights are still going to Cuba, just taking different routes.
Yes, we maintain communication with our family by WhatsApp, by Gmail, and also we can call them. Of course, there are some times when there is no light, and that is very difficult to communicate, but I talk with my family every day.
Are flights still going to Cuba and leaving the island?
Yes. Our connection remains operational despite logistical difficulties because it's very difficult now, but Cuba continues to be connected with the world and also with the Caribbean region. There is flights that are going to
from where?
Well, from Latin America and also from Europe that are going to another countries to receive fuel.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they are, I don't know exactly, I think that Mexico announced that the flights can go to Mexico to get fuel and they continue to Cuba. In order to maintain my family flights, I think and we have doctors that are going to Cuba from here. So we maintain, it's different now, but we maintain the flights connections in Cuba.
In our sit-down interview with Her Excellency Yahima Martinez Milan, the ambassador of the Republic of Cuba to Belize, we asked if Cuba fears that things could deteriorate further and that the United States might take action against Cuba as it did against Venezuela in hopes of regime change. In particular, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been vocal about maintaining a hard-line policy toward Havana and has repeatedly urged Washington to intensify pressure on the Cuban government.
We have been living in a kind of world from the 60 years. Different world, economic world, and hard conditions. So our people are prepared in order to defend, of course, our sovereignty and our independence. It's the most important for us. We not negotiate under threats. We don't negotiate under pressures. Of course, our country is a country of peace and it's a country of cooperation. The world knows that, but we are working inside, and of course, we are preparing for these conditions inside the island.
A 25-year-old construction worker from Belize City who works on San Pedro alleges he was beaten by police after being put out from an establishment over a dispute regarding a service. He says the staff called police and he was picked up some feet away from the business. Yvette Rayburn, his mother, who spoke to us on his behalf, narrated the incident.
I think it's time for mothers to speak out for their sons. It's so hard for your son to grow in Belize. Then your kids are trying, and then they have so much people to fight against, and then they have to fight against the police officers too. So I'm here today because yesterday 4 police officers picked up my son from off the bridge, swing bridge, stoned him in the back of the pickup truck, took him to Balama, beat him up and left him there to find his way back to wherever he needs to go. And I think it's very unfair for these police officers to keep doing this to these young men and breaking their spirits. It's hard alone being a black man in Belize for this to keep on going on. It never happened to him before, and they didn't take him to any station. They just took him in the pickup, beat him up and put him out. His 2 eyes are bruised. His lip is busted. It looks like 2 of his ribs. I don't even know. He has a big scratch on the side, a lot of bruises in his head. It's like, what for what? If he was doing something he was not supposed to, take him to the station and charge him for arguing or whatever they said he was doing. I don't know what they called the police for, what happened. But man, it's so hard when Belizeans try to speak up for their rights in this place. It's so hard. This is the only son I have left. Miss, when they beat up my son, I left my son back there, anything could have happened to my son.
He had to walk back.
He had to walk back disoriented, ma'am. You see them bruises on my son up, and he was disoriented trying to figure out where he lives to go back home.
We reached out to the police and we are awaiting a response on the allegations. For their part, the business told us there was no issue today when he returned. After the break, Belmopan City Council says it will work with police to tackle crime. Stay tuned.
Hello, I am Dr. Rosado, a pediatrician, and today I want to talk to parents about rotavirus and how we can protect our children. Rotavirus is a virus that causes severe water, diarrhea, and vomiting. This can lead to severe dehydration and may require hospitalization if not treated promptly. The good news is that diarrhea caused by rotavirus is preventable by vaccines. The vaccine is safe, effective, and available at all nearest health centers. It is given in drops orally at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child against severe diarrhea. Visit your nearest clinic today.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda is all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Through NHI, thousands of Belizeans have benefited from improved access to essential services without the burden of overwhelming out-of-pocket costs.
Countrywide, we have approximately 220,000 persons registered, and we are expecting that the inclusion now of Kaya District will take us at least 300,000 for the first year. To access services, you need to register at a clinic of your choice. You register using your Social Security card, so you can go on and register your entire family.
I think NHI is a program that helps bridge that gap between patients and getting not only affordable but quality healthcare services.
We don't have to come to Belmopan to have a medical care. You'll be right there, improve the lives of our residents and our children.
NHI program have always been a dream. We have seen the benefits, and we have always desired that La Lamos Adventist Hospital could be a partner with the NHI program. Healthcare has been very challenging for many. As we learned about the NHI, we are seeing an affordable care. This is a means of preventative care. You don't need to wait until you are sick. A healthier Belize, a healthier you, a healthier family. It's better for all of us.
To the 80,000 Belizeans in this district who are now eligible, let me be clear about what this means for you and your family. It means that the doctor you visit, the medicine you need, the chronic care management for conditions like diabetes and hypertension, these essential services are now backed by the full strength of a national system designed to put quality care within your reach.
The once peaceful Belmopan has seen an uptick in criminal activity in recent months. The residents have expressed concerns over the increase, which has prompted city leadership to act. Mayor of Belmopan, Pablo Kowich, has been meeting with various communities in recent months. Kowich told the media on Tuesday that the city council will work with the police to tackle crime. Kowich also said residents are concerned about the homeless population and those living with mental health conditions who frequent public spaces.
Yes, we're working a bit closer with the police to ensure that we have the best initiative to address this situation. when it comes to security, it's not an actual mandate that the city has to execute, but obviously we have to ensure that it is part of our responsibility to ensure the safety of the people. We have to do that in collaboration with the correct entities. One of the additional things that I'm presently doing is I've started the formation of a formal work group, which would be consisting of the different ministries that have to do with safety, with homelessness, and with mental individuals, because that is also one of the concerns that has been increasing within the city. We had attempted to address that issue last year through an informal group, which consisted of a handful. I think it was 3 ministries, but now we are extending the participation of different groups. So we're expecting and being hopeful that this initiative will end up with some better results.
Healthcare professionals from the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, are in Belize to offer training to healthcare professionals who will be at the upcoming Agric Show in Belmopan. With upwards of 30,000 visitors expected during the weekend, healthcare professionals are being trained for potential situations involving the spread of infectious diseases. Keston Daniel, a coordinator with CARPHA, spoke about the training.
We are here to provide some support and technical capacity building with Ministry of Health with respect to mass gathering surveillance. We started mass gathering surveillance with the 2024 T20 Cricket World Cup in the Caribbean, and we have, subsequent to that, we had buy-in and support from Ministers of Health throughout the CARICOM region to expand this mass gathering surveillance system for things other than that Cricket World Cup. So we have implemented it in Bahamas, in Dominica, in St. Martin of recent, conducting similar risk assessments. What the risk assessment does, it gives an idea of what is the capacity, what is the risk profile of the event, and in this case, the event we are looking at is the agricultural trade show, the National Agricultural Trade Show. That is one of the bigger events, as we understand, in Belize, having over 30,000 participants coming in that event together, including some international visitors that would be here. Now, what we are to ensure in a mass gathering event, there's the propensity to have quick spread of infectious diseases if there is some of those around. So what we want to ensure is that we could quickly identify, detect any possibility or risk of these things happening and respond to them in a short space of time.
John Bowden, the principal public health inspector, said there will be an increase in inspections at the showgrounds.
We have developed a number of response plans for events. Unfortunately, one of them that we don't have is a mass event plan. And so this meeting actually gives us the opportunity to develop a multi-sectoral response for any events that would happen, and particularly we're looking at the National Agriculture and Trade Show. We know that over the given period of time, the 3-day event, 2 to 3 days event that we have, many people are exposed to different risks, and so we need to put the necessary intervention in place to address any situation that would have a mass situation occurring.
So for this particular agricultural show that's coming up, will we see more health officials on the ground? I mean, what does it look like practically?
Well, from what we can see at the moment, that there's definitely the need for us to expand the work that we do. That would mean that there would be additional inspectors on the ground and of course doing more inspections with the vendors at the facility.
Belmopan Mayor Pablo Kowich said that the City Council will also be offering its support.
Myself and 2 other members of my team are participating in today's workshop to ensure that we're properly prepared when it comes to mass gathering management, within the city. As you might be aware, Belmopan tends to be the location where everyone turns to when it comes to hurricane evacuations. So that's one of the cases where mass gathering management will play a heavy role. We also have other cases, for example, the Agric Showgrounds, which attracts about 15,000 people per day. So these types of events, we need to ensure that the city is fully capable and prepared to work as part of the team that can ensure safety and a good time for our residents and people.
Police in the Orange Walk district are investigating a case of attempted murder in which an elderly farmer, 88-year-old Gabriel Tech, was stabbed. The incident occurred in Yo Creek on Tuesday morning at around 9. According to Tech, he was working at the farm with another man he knows as Negro Lopez, who approached him and accused him of taking his groceries. Lopez then allegedly armed himself with a farm fork and stabbed Tech to the chest. Tech was able to remove the fork and walk towards the main road where he obtained transport to the Northern Regional Hospital and is now in a stable condition. Police investigation continues. Over a year ago, the Building the Adaptive Capacity of Sugarcane Farmers in Northern Belize, known as BACSUF, was implemented with the goal of introducing new sugarcane varieties. The new varieties would be tested to determine which would produce more yield of sugarcane per acre. Minister of State in the Ministry of Economic Transformation, Dr. Osman Martinez, said that Belize was able to secure funding for the project by accessing climate finance.
And this is the biggest project that we have been able to attract, or where I should say that we put a proposal to the Green Climate Fund, which became bankable, and now it's having a huge impact, not only in the northern part of the country, not only for the sugar industry and the sugarcane farmers, but for the country itself. And by having GCFs present on the ground to look at the product on the ground, that's a big deal, because it has never happened before. So for me to be here, practically I'm here saying to GCF, listen, the government of Belize is serious. We will continue to champion climate finance. We will continue to fight for loss and damage, which was approved at the UN CCC COP 27-28 in Egypt. And therefore, Belize deserves more climate finance simply because we are a carbon sink country. Nonetheless, we are a high risk to climate change.
The project manager, Daryl Audinette of the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, explained that the project is in its initial stage and they are in the process of securing clean seeds and land to establish nurseries.
Project for the most part is in its initiation phase. What happened is that, as you are aware, the Fusarium fungal outbreak has really affected the industry, and so we had initially intended to start with the establishment of nurseries, sugarcane nurseries. That was envisioned for last year, 2025. That was delayed, and so where we are right now is that we're starting that process of establishing those nurseries. For us to establish those nurseries, though, we have to secure clean seeds. And so what we're doing is that we're working with partners, including the University of Belize, to secure clean seeds through tissue culture, as well as with the BSI ESR in terms of providing clean seeds through hot bath treatment. And so first and foremost, that's the first step. We're trying to secure those clean seeds, trying to identify lands and areas where we could replant, establish primary nurseries and secondary nurseries, and then move to replanting next year. We're trying to see how we could fast track that process, and so we're working along with our partners to see the best approach for us to fast track that, keeping in mind that the project runs to 2029, and so we need to replant 10,000 acres, and so that is a process in and of itself, and so it's a monumental task. But once we have all our partners supporting the process, we should be able to The Green Climate Fund is also here to make an assessment of how things are progressing, what are some of the challenges that there was a project we're facing, and then determine from their end how they could provide that technical and project management support.
And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BHNI app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.